Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. I found the Cutest collection at Dollar Tree recently. It's from LA Colors and it's like cat themed. I love cats. I love animals in general, so I like to see when brands have like these little makeup collections that involve animals in some way, and I just thought this was too cute. Now, this is all I was able to find at this store, so I don't know if this is everything, but what I picked up, it's like 3 separate products in the whole collection, like as far as color family. So let me show you the more neutral one first. Okay, so this is kind of like what I mean. You can see this leans a little bit more on the neutral, warm leaning side. I haven't opened any of this yet. I have not swatched anything, nothing yet. I just picked this up in the store and I've just been waiting to use it on camera. So this one is called Meow-nificent, and just look how adorable this packaging is. I mean, it's a kitty. What's not to love? I just thought it was just so cute. And all of this is, of course, $1.25, so I feel like you're not out a lot if you wanted to purchase the collection. Then we have a blush in the shade paw-some. This is a blush, right? Yeah, blush. In the shade paw-some. I will be opening all of this in just a second, but I wanted to show you the cute packaging like in everything first. And then we have the, let's see, Gimme a Kitty Kiss. This is a lip gloss, and this one just says orange. So this is the matching lip gloss that goes with it, and I just thought this stuff was just so very cute. I mean, come on. And then we have like the more pink collection here. So for the eyeshadow palette, we have Fur Real, and it looks like this. I mean, this is just cute. I had to have this. I mean, I didn't have to have this, but I just thought this was just the cutest thing I've ever seen. Then we have the blush in Fur-bulous, which looks like this right here. I mean, I will be doing swatches in just a second. I just wanted to show you everything first. And then we have the lip gloss, and it just says strawberry. And it looks like this. I'm guessing these are probably going to go on for the most part clear, but I picked them up because I kind of wanted the completed collection, which I don't know if this is everything. This is all that I found at the Dollar Tree closest to me. There might be more different like shades. The only ones I was able to find was this pink one, the more orangey neutral one I showed you, and then there's a purple collection. That's all I was able to find, but there might be more than that. Okay, and then we have the more purple one, and this one is called Un-fur-gettable. And this is just so cute. Look at that. Come on. Then we have the blush in Purr-fection. I mean, this is just, I just can't. This is so sweet and cute. And then the lip gloss, this one just says blueberry, and then it looks like this right here. I mean, this is just the cutest collection I've ever seen. I think because I'm wearing this more gray little cardigan here with my skulls and my little silver kitty earrings, I think I'm going to go in with the purple one today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing 3 different looks using each of the little mini collections or little mini color families within this collection. So I'm going to do the purple one first, and then maybe, well, I don't know, we'll maybe do the pink next or the neutral next, whichever the case may be, but I'm going to do 3 different looks. So let's start with the purple one here. Now, let me actually open these because I have not opened them or swatched them or anything. Look at that. That is so cute. Okay, let me open it up if I can get it open. And then there we have the little color story right there. That is just precious. Precious. I will say it's kind of hard to get this plastic open. Then we have this cute little blush. I mean, that is darling. Come on. I'm going to be swatching this in just a second. I'm going to get everything open. You know, these lip glosses, I think really kind of look like these lip balms that I had from them a while back that had like little bears on them. They look very similar, so I don't know if these have a tint to them. I'm guessing they have a scent, but we'll see. All right, let's swatch the eyeshadow palette first. So I'm going to start like with this shade, and then we're just going to go here, here, and here. Oh, it's kind of got like a shift to it, like a purple to blue, which is kind of shocking considering that this is Dollar Tree makeup. I mean, you know. I mean, I'm impressed to see any kind of shift like that, especially because, I mean, this is like $1.25, you know. I mean, it's not like the greatest shift ever, but hey, for a very, very, very affordable brand like this, that's pretty good in my opinion. Now in this palette, I haven't really paid much attention to the other 2. There's only 1 matte shade and then 3 more shimmery shades. I'm sorry, that's horrible swatches, but at least you can see the tones, and that's really pretty. That's like a really just pretty little simple color story. Cute. I'm not gonna close these just yet because they're kind of hard to open. Maybe they'll like be a little bit easier the more I use them. And then we have the blush in Purr-fection, which is so pretty. I've had their blushes before. I mean, I've had their eyeshadows before too, but I've always really enjoyed the blushes. Let's see, let's just swatch the blush over here. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Now, these are a little bit powdery, but I mean, I'm not gonna complain that much about any kind of quality or anything, especially considering this makeup is $1.25 each. So I am not here to judge anything. I'm just gonna mention it because, well, I mean, I just want to mention anything I notice, but I'm not being harsh with it. So this has kind of like one of those little squeezy kind of applicators. So let's see here. Okay, this says blueberry. I mean, I guess it kind of smells like grape. So these basically are going to come out clear. As you can see it right there. Not a problem. I love lip oils and lip glosses and stuff like that, so it's not really an issue for me, but just if this was something you wanted, if you were interested in any of these little collections, just know the gloss is probably going to be clear on all of them, but I just wanted to complete the sets, especially because I wanted to do a video on these too, because I think they're just so cute, and sometimes you can find really cute makeup at Dollar Tree, like this. Okay, and I'll swatch the other collections when I do those looks, so I will have timestamps for you below in case you want to skip around. I'll just have it like purple, pink, orange. That way you'll know whoever you want to skip around and watch if you're interested in doing that. So I'll be doing swatches when I get to those collections then. So on a Sigma E54, I'm going to take this little matte shade in this palette. Alright, and let's run that into my crease. Wow, that had more pigment than I was expecting, but you know, I have had LA Colors palettes in the past that I really enjoyed. They can be kind of a hit or miss brand for the most part, but I mean, for the prices they charge, I don't know if anybody can really be that picky about their quality because, I mean, you know, hey, because that's a pretty shade. It's applying really well. I'd already done like my prep steps, by the way. I just wanted this video to focus more on this collection, so I'll have everything else I'm using listed for you below. Now this collection, I won't be able to link any of this. You'll probably just have to check your Dollar Tree stores if you have one near you. Unless LA Colors has this collection on their website. I know they do have a website, but not everything is available because a lot of times they'll have on there only available in stores. So I'll check, but more than likely you'll probably have to check Dollar Tree if it was something you were interested in. Okay, I'm going back in with a blending brush from e.l.f. and I'm just going around the edges of that. There's nothing on this brush, just in whatever was left of the shade I used to set my lid, but I haven't added anything else. I am going to add a little bit more because I seem to have blended it away. Which I have a bad habit of doing that, where I basically blend shades into nothing because I overblend. But I definitely do that with more, okay, I don't want to say colorful shades because this isn't really that colorful. It looks kind of like a dusty, mauve-y plum, if that makes sense, but, you know. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here. I had thought at one point about doing like one collection over here and then one over here, but I think I'd rather do 3 cohesive looks where you can see the eyeshadow and the blush, and then, well, the lip glosses are going to basically be clear. So I'll just pair up a lip liner with them. I'm going to be so honest, when I saw this collection, I said, oh my gosh, I want to do a video on that. I just want to do something really fun and just have this cute little collection. I don't know, I just think little stuff like this is so cute. And I love animals. I like to see them like in makeup. There's like an indie brand called Metamorphosis. Their entire makeup brand is all animals, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I have some of their stuff. Well, I did have the liquid blushes, but I think I got rid of some of the shades. Like I pass them on to a friend. I just kept like maybe 1 or 2 of the shades, but they're really good. It was just the other shades weren't something I wore a lot, so I wanted to pass them on before they got bad or anything. I've also had their highlighters. I only bought the highlighters though because the packaging was dear. Because the highlighters themselves, while they're beautiful, they're not what I'm looking for. They're very glittery. They're very, you know, and it's just not what I'm into, but I wanted them. I mean, I'm not even gonna kid. I wanted it for the packaging. And I think that's honestly what caught my attention with this collection. I wanted it for this very cute, adorable kitty packaging. I think cats would be like my favorite domesticated animal. My favorite animal of all time are deer, but if you're talking domesticated, I would say a cat. Cats would be my favorite. I'm going to take this shade right here in the palette. I'm just going to take it on my finger. And we're going to apply that out here on this outer half. This is like a shimmer shade. That first shade I went in is the only matte shade in this palette, so this is just like a little shimmer shade here. I'm just going to apply that right out here. You can use a brush too, but I figured why not just use my finger? And then I'll go back in with that brush and kind of blend it into the crease a little bit more. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And then same thing, I'm just going to take that brush to lightly go into the crease better, where I can't really blend the shadow that easily in the crease with my fingers, so I'm just going to take this brush. Okay, I'm going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to place that. You know what, let's just cover the whole beginning portion of the lid. That other shade I'll pop into the inner corner. I don't think that looks bad at all. Cute little cool tone purple moment. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do the rest of my face off camera minus the blush and the lip. And what I'm going to do is just take, for my lower lash line, I'm probably just going to take this matte shade all the way on my lower lash line, and then I'm going to come back and on camera we will pop this shade right here on the inner corner. I'll do that with you on camera, but we have seen this shade. So I am going to go ahead and do the rest of my face, and I'll be right back. Alright, I've done everything except for the lips and the blush, and we're going to take this shade right here in the eyeshadow palette. This was the last and final shade. We're going to pop that right in here. Kind of swoop that up a little bit. That shade is a little bit too deep for my inner corner, but at least I wanted to use it so you can at least see it, but it's a little bit too deep for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my Urban Decay Wild Greens palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here. Now, you definitely don't have to do this. This is a personal preference, but there we go. You see that? I need that right there. I need that pop of brightness. Honestly, I'm impressed by this eyeshadow palette. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. This pretty little purple moment. Okay, let's apply the blush. This one is in Purr-fection, and I'm going to take that on my e.l.f. 105 brush. Quite powdery, so I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of pigment to this. Well, it's actually more subtle than I thought, but it's pretty. Let's see if I can build it up some. That's pretty. I've had their blushes before, and I never thought there was anything wrong with them. Now, are they like my top favorite blushes? No, but I think they were always fairly decent. That is stunning. I love that shade. Of course, we're going to do the across the nose thing because I just feel like I just love that. I don't know. There's just something so cute to me about it. You definitely don't have to do it. But in the name of this very cute collection, we need a cute blush moment. And I think that's really sweet. Okay, for the lips, because this is basically like a clear, I just figured I'd let the lip liner do the work for me. So this might be a little too warm for this eye look. This eye look is a little bit cool tone. But now the cheek turned out to be a little bit more on the warm side. So I'm sure it'll go. This is from e.l.f. This is their Cream Glide lip liner. And this one is in Plum and Get It. So I'm going to line my lips and fill them in with this. Okay, I'm going to fill in the top, and then we'll blot it down. Oh, this is very vampy. Yeah, that's a very vampy lip for me. I normally never wear shades like this. Now, what I'm gonna do, I don't want to apply this straight to this. I mean, you could, and I could always wipe the applicator off, but I'm not. I'm gonna take a little bit on the back of my hand. It's basically a clear, but I like this scent. I mean, it says blueberry, but, well, I mean, I'm kind of getting blueberry and grape. So then I'm gonna take my finger. Okay, so there we have the first look. This turned out quite vampy. I mean, the eyes, the cheeks, the lips, everything. I love it, though. I love it. This would make, like, a really beautiful fall time look if you were... Now, I mean, you can wear this year-round, but I mean, if you were someone inspired by the seasons. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Hey, I'm quite impressed with this stuff. I mean, so far so good, but we have 2 other little mini collections to do, so I will be doing those next. I don't know which one I want to do next, if I'm going to do the pink or if I'm going to do the more orangey, neutral one. I say orangey because the packaging is orange, but it's like a really warm tone neutral palette, but yeah, I mean, I am pretty impressed with this. This is stunning. I love the blush. Everything performed pretty well. So on to the next little mini collection. Okay, I'm wearing pink today. I have cute little white kitty earrings. So we're going to be doing the pink collection, and then I'll save the neutral one for last. So let me do the swatches right quick. Now in this little palette, there are 2 matte shades and 2 shimmer shades, whereas the one I used the first time was 1 matte and 3 shimmers. Now this first shade looks kind of like my skin tone, yeah. I will say that I wore that eyeshadow and the blush and everything all day yesterday and didn't have any issues, and I really love... Ooh, now that's a pretty little color story. Look how pretty that is. So cute. And what I found yesterday, that the combo of eyeshadow primer, because it wasn't actually eyeshadow primer, I used my Tower 28 concealer, and then I used my Get Set powder in the banana shade that they have, and my eyeshadow did not crease at all yesterday. As long as I'm using a very small amount of this concealer, I find that I don't have to worry about creasing. And because of that, I cut open my little Milani eyeshadow primer tube, and I scraped the rest of it. This not, I mean, this kind of looks like peanut butter in here. I scraped the rest of that eyeshadow primer into here using like a little silicone spatula, and I'm just trying to use this up as face primer now. So I just want to use this concealer now for eyeshadow primer because it works for me, and hey, if it works, then I don't need to buy a whole separate product. I just wanted to mention that right quick. I'm sure nobody really cares about that, but I mean, I don't know. I think I finally found an eyeshadow primer that actually works for me, so I'm happy about that. Okay, this shade is going to be mostly like my skin tone, so I'm just going to, I've already set my eyeshadow primer, but I'm just going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to take that on a blending brush from e.l.f. And we're just going to run that all over the lid. It's going to add kind of like a very little slight... Well, yeah, it's hard to tell over the top of this setting powder because the setting powder does have that yellow tint, but it kind of just gave it a little bit, maybe you can see, a little more brightness than this eye, so I'm hoping you can tell that on camera. It's more noticeable in person. I didn't pay much attention to the color story, or I could have probably used this shade to set my concealer on my lid, but it's okay, we have it now. Oh, and I forgot, I gotta swatch the blush for you. I completely forgot to do that. The blush in the pink line is called Fur-bulous, and it looks like this right here. Very pretty. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not exactly with it today. I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep, so you'll have to just excuse me if I seem a little bit out of it today. So I'm not thinking, I should have swatched that while ago, but I wasn't even thinking about it, but that's a pretty shade. I can't wait to see that on the cheeks. Now, as far as the lip gloss, they're basically all clear, so I won't be swatching that. But on a Sigma E54, I'm going to take this shade right here in the palette. These are quite powdery shades, so just keep that in mind. If this was something you wanted or were interested in, they are very powdery. They're very softly pressed. So I'm going to tap that into the crease first and then go back and blend to kind of get all of that pigment down first and then go around it. And then I'm going to go back in with that lightest pink matte in the palette and go around the edges of this shade. just to help blend that out even further. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to really press that shade in because it's so powdery. I find that this is kind of easier to press it in and then kind of like sweep back and forth with the brush. It's a really pretty shade. Honestly, I'm very impressed with the quality of these products. Like, I mean, they're really good quality for, I mean, for the price point, come on, you can't beat it. Okay, I built that shade up a little bit more. Kind of blend that in a little bit. Then I'm going to go back into that lightest matte shade. The first shade I used like all over the lid, and I'm going to go around the edges of this shade just to make sure that's blended out and it's nice and seamless. Okay, yesterday I picked up the shimmer shades with my finger. Today I'm going to try to pick this shade up right here on that same brush. I want to see how the shimmer shades apply with a brush this time since I used my finger yesterday. Well, it's showing up, but it's very faint. So, okay, let me go in with my finger. Yeah, these are definitely, it's better to pick these up like this. Whereas I feel like most shimmer shades, regardless of price point, usually do pick up better on your finger, or like maybe even if you wet your brush or something, they tend to do that anyway. I just wanted to see if I could pick it up with a brush, like what would it look like. And it'll apply it, it just will apply it in a little bit more of a subtle way. So I'm going to take that brush now and kind of work that shade into that crease a little bit, kind of blend it out some. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. Apply that shade on the outer half of my lid. And then go back with that brush and work it into the crease a little bit. And then I'm going to take this shade right here, and we're going to apply that right in here. Honestly, I feel like the shades on the lid, not the shade in the crease, but the shades on the lid look very similar to the ones I used yesterday. Like very, very similar in tone. But now I'm just trying to use all of these shades in the palette just so you can see all four, but more than likely, this is not the same look I would recreate every time. See, for me, I probably would more than likely use a shade like this to set all over my lid and then put this all over that and that's it. Or maybe this shade is, you can build it up, but I probably would use a shade like that as more so liner. So this is not like the look I would create all the time, but I did want to mention that because I noticed that it does look very similar to the look I created yesterday, minus the shade in the crease. But now this collection to me is like just a really fun, cute collection, and I think if you're someone who you really love cats and maybe you like, I don't know, maybe you're someone who likes to collect makeup products that feature like your favorite animal or something, which I mean I totally understand that, then this might be something you want for that. But as far as these tones, they look very similar to the ones from yesterday outside of the crease shade. Still very pretty, like it performs very well, but I just want to mention it because it does remind me a lot of that look. Okay, I'm gonna go quickly and do the rest of my face outside of the blush and the lip. For my lower lash line, I think I might take a little bit of this on the outer half and then a little bit of this on the inner half. I think that's all I'm gonna be doing for the lower lash line, so I'm gonna go ahead and do all that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to take the blush shade in Fur-bulous, and I'm going to take that on my e.l.f. 105 brush. Oh, a lot kicked up off that one. You can see, I'm hoping you, come on now, let's see if I can show you, that it does have a lot of kick up in the pan. Also, they must not have glued this one in there as well. I can kind of feel that one like moving around a little bit. I might have to re-glue it. Okay. Now let's see. Oh, I know, that's pretty. I kind of did something different for me today. I applied my Cutest powder, their Cloud Set powder. I think it's in the shade Airy. I used it as powder foundation. And I mean, it is a little bit kind of cakey. I just wanted to try it because I've been trying to work that powder out of my collection as well. And I think I can kind of start seeing the imprint of the little ring at the bottom. Does that powder have a ring like the pan? I don't know if have I ever seen somebody finish that? I think I have, but I don't remember what the bottom of the pan looked like. But I see like a little ring. So if it has that kind of pan at the bottom, then I think I'm getting close. I just find that powder to be a little cakey. I don't know. And it's definitely cakey today, but I applied a lot of it just to see if I could wear it this way. Because, I mean, I'm up for multitasking products to work them out of my collection. This is a really stunning blush shade. It's like a really pretty pink. The eyeshadow is good as far as the quality. I'm just a little disappointed that it looks really basically like the same look that I created yesterday, if I'm remembering yesterday's look correctly in my mind. It just looks like that. The only difference is the crease shade is more pink on this time, and then the one yesterday was more like a plum, but I just feel like it looks like the exact same look. But I mean, I'm not complaining that much about it considering the price point. However, I just want to bring it up in case this was something you wanted to look into or you were just curious about. You know, sometimes I get to talking and completely forget that I'm still blending blush on my face and I'm just not even thinking about it. Now this one does have some sparkle in it, and I don't know if you'll even be able to tell in the pan, but this one does have sparkle in it. So if you don't like that, you probably wouldn't like it. It's not that noticeable until you get really up close to a mirror. Like, from far off, I don't notice it. But I just wanted to mention it. Okay, I'm not going to be wearing a lip liner or anything today. I'm just going to try their lip gloss on its own. This is the strawberry one, and these are basically like clear. They just have different scents. So I'm just going to, yeah, it's a clear. Ooh, it's definitely that artificial strawberry scent. If you know what I'm talking about, then you definitely know. It's not bad. It's just a clear. There's no tint to it or anything like that, but I just wanted to see it on its own because yesterday I did wear the more, I think they call that one blueberry. I don't know why. I want to say grape because it's purple, but it's the blueberry one. I placed that one over the top of a lip liner, so I just wanted to see what this one would look like on its own. But it's basically just clear, just gives your lips a nice little shine. Okay, so here is this look with the pink little collection. Now tomorrow I'm going to be moving on to the orange collection, or I say orange, it's really like a neutral collection, but the packaging is orange, so we're going to be moving on to that one now. Okay, we're moving on to the third and final little color story family here, and this one is the more neutral palette. This is Meow-nificent, and this one is the very pretty neutral one, which I think, honestly, this is probably the one that I'm most excited for because I do love neutrals, and this is just really right up my alley. So let me swatch this one. Okay, I don't know why I did it like that, but you can still see the swatch. That's so pretty. Yeah, this one is probably going to be my favorite just because these are shades that I reach for on an everyday basis. So this one's probably going to be my favorite. The other two are very pretty, don't get me wrong, but I love the neutrals. Okay, now we have the blush, which is called paw-some. Now this one looks like a matte blush in the pan. I'm not really seeing any sparkles in this one like I did the one I used with the pink. And I want to say the one with the more purple blush, I want to say that one has more of a satin look to it. Like not matte, but not shimmery. Ooh, that's pretty. You can see it now. You can see that one up next to these. And then, of course, the lip gloss is just clear. But I will say, I swatched these yesterday because I think I'm going to do an Instagram reel on these products. I really love the way this smelled. It has this really nice orange scent to it, and I really do like that. So I I like okay, it's blueberry, but it smells like grape to me. I like that one too. I didn't like the scent of the strawberry one. That one to me, that scent, it was just so artificial and so, I don't know. I just didn't really like the scent on that one, but I really like this scent. I don't know. There's something about it that I like. Okay, on a Sigma E54, I'm going to start with this shade right here in this palette. And I'm going to stamp that in first because, like I said, these are some very powdery eyeshadows. But they're just really softly pressed. I might have to build that up too because I just picked up a little bit. Yeah, I can see it and it's really pretty. It's like a soft shade, but I'm going to build it up just for the purpose of the video here. Okay, there you go. Now you can hopefully see that. Okay, I'm just going back in with my blending brush and going around the edges of that shade. There's nothing else on this brush, just what was left of my setting powder from where I set my eyeshadow primer, but I didn't add anything else. Okay, do the same thing over here. We'll add that shade into the crease. And then same blending brush, just going around the edges here, just to make sure that's nice and blended out. Same brush, and I'm going to take this shade right here. And I'm going to place that on this more outer third of my lid. Yeah, I can go ahead and tell you right now, this one's my favorite. And I haven't even used the shimmer shades yet. I just like this. This is me. The other two are very pretty, but I just love the neutrals, like the browns. I just love them. I didn't pick up too much on that brush either. I always like to go in with a softer amount, and then I can build up if I want, but usually I don't. But I like to give myself the option. I also like that this one has an even number. I like that there are 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. The purple one only had 1 matte and then 3 shimmers, and the pink one had 2 mattes and 2 shimmers as well. I prefer the more even because I do like matte shades. Honestly, I'm getting to the point where I like matte shades and then taking like a single shadow, like this one from Stila, the shade Kitten, and then just using that. So I used not to really like the appeal of all matte palettes, but now I can kind of, yeah, I can kind of see the want for one of those and then just top it with your own separate single shimmer. But if I'm going to have an eyeshadow palette that has both mattes and shimmers, I'd rather there be an even amount, roughly. Like, I don't want just 1 matte and then like 10 shimmers. I'd rather there to be a little bit more variety. Now, if the shimmer shades are more of like the tones I like kind of like the I Need a Nude palette, then that's fine. Because for those, I can use them as like one and done shadows, and that's perfect. But just in general, I prefer to have more even number of mattes and shimmers. I'm going to take this well, if it'll focus, come on now, focus for me, there you go. I'm going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to place that in the very center. Now this shade to me looked very subtle, like there's not a lot going on, and I swatched this palette yesterday for an Instagram reel, or, well, I'll see if I'll be able to post it. I haven't done any editing yet to it, but I noticed that I had to kind of build this shade up a little bit, so it's not a very intense sparkle. I think the other shade, this one right here, is the definite sparkly one. So yeah, this one's more of a subtle, which I do like it, but I just want to mention that this one's much more of a subtle shimmer. So I'm probably going to have the other one do most of the sparkle work. So I'm probably going to just end up covering this one up, but at least you can see the shade. Now, I'd be fine with this, like, all over this inner part of the lid and be fine with it, but I do want to use all the shades in the palette. I'm going to take this last shimmer shade right here, and I'm going to also take that on my finger. Yeah, this one is much more intense. So we're just going to go over everywhere that I just placed that shade. And we're going to do the same thing on this eye. Yeah, this is my favorite one. In hindsight, this little mini collection with the more orangey packaging should have been the only one that I picked up, but I just wanted to pick up all of them because I don't know, I thought they were very cute and I wanted to do a little review on them, but in general, this should have been the only one I picked up really because this one to me is the prettiest. This is the type of eye look that I go for all the time. I'm going to do the rest of my face and I'll be right back to do the blush and the lips. Okay, I went ahead and applied my lip since the gloss is just clear, but for the liner I'm wearing the Tower 28 one liner in Work of Art, and then I placed the orange gloss over the top, and I like the scent of this one. It smells kind of like an orange popsicle, so I do like the scent on that one. Okay, so we're going to move on to the blush in the shade Paw-some, which is this really pretty peachy shade. Zoom in a little bit here. Let me build that up a little bit more so you can see it. Now, honestly, what I had was probably enough for me for what I like, but I want to build it up a little bit more, but that's so pretty. I'm very impressed by the blushes in this collection. Like, they're so pretty. I mean, I like the whole collection, don't get me wrong. We're going to talk about some final thoughts in just a second, but this is a gorgeous shade. I love that really pretty peachy pinky vibe, and it goes so beautifully with this eye look. Okay, so here we have the third and final look, which this one's my favorite. This is the type of makeup that I love, that I wear on an everyday basis. I love neutrals. I love browns. I'm even wearing a brown shirt. So this one would be my favorite. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. But let's talk about the collection as an entirety. I think that it's super cute. Now, was this in need? Absolutely not. But I saw this collection at Dollar Tree. I wanted to pick up everything that I could find. I don't know if this is everything. I just happened to find these shades. I just wanted to pick it up because I thought it was so cute, so pretty, and I thought it would make a fun little video here for YouTube, just trying out some Dollar Tree makeup, especially something this darling. And of course, I love animals, and this is cat themed, so I'm a little biased right then and there. But let's talk about the actual quality. The eyeshadow palettes, I mean, they perform very well. Let's keep in mind, all of this is $1.25 each. So for that, knowing that in the back of my mind, these perform extremely well. I did not struggle, I felt like, with any of them. Like, they applied beautifully on the eyes. The other collections, I've worn them all day long for the past 2 days. They did not fade, they didn't crease, they didn't do anything weird on the eyes. They look just as beautiful by the end of the day as they did when I first applied them. And also keep in mind that at the end of the day, I do go outside and walk, and it's very hot here. It's sweaty. And even then, they still look good. Even with me sweating outside, they still look good. And I do think that's worth mentioning. So now for the eyeshadow palettes, so we have the little neutral one, the purple one, and the pink one. Now I will say the purple and pink one, to me, the shimmer shades, the way I applied them on the eyes, unless I'm just not remembering correctly, which I will, once I go back and edit, I'll be able to see for sure. I felt like they look very similar on the eyes. Like these two, the matte shades, of course, are different, but I felt like with this deeper shimmer and this deeper shimmer, and then this shade, and then this shade, they look very similar. Like they created the very same eye look, both of them. If you like purple or pink, I mean, you know, they're very cute options. Now for me, as far as the eyeshadow palettes, the one called Meow-nificent is my favorite because to me, this is beautiful. Like this looks like an eye look that I could create with a Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. I want to give it that credit. Okay, now the inner corner shade is from Stila. That's Kitten. That's not this. I forgot to mention that, but that's not this palette. But the shades in the crease and on the lid, they perform beautifully. And I think that's what I love about this, is because this looks exactly like a look I would create with high-end eyeshadow palettes, like some of my all-time favorite palettes. So I'm going to give this one credit. This one's my favorite. The blush, all three of these are beautiful. I think this one might be my favorite because it's kind of that pinky peachy tone that I like, but I think all three of these are stunning. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. Now, I think you just need to keep the finish in mind if you were looking at the three of these and kind of deciding, like if you wanted one of them and kind of deciding what you wanted. The pink one does have shimmer in it. Now, it's not noticeable from afar. The only way I noticed it is I had to get really up close to a mirror. So just keep that in mind. There is shimmer in this one. The one in the purple kind of reminds me more of like a satin. It's not shimmery, but it's not flat matte, and the one I'm wearing today in the orange one is more, this is a matte shade, which, I mean, I'm not wearing any kind of highlighter or anything. If you're someone who likes a glowy, you could always add a highlighter if you like this shade over the other three, but I think all three of these blushes are beautiful. Honestly, I probably would go for this one more so for a tone preference, but I think all three of these are beautiful. There's really no complaints with the blushes. It just kind of depends on your preferences as far as the finish. Now, the lip glosses, they're all clear. So, I mean, you definitely don't need all three if this was something you were looking at, unless you just like the way they look. This packaging is cute, and that's ultimately what got me. So if you like this pretty little kitty-themed packaging, then, I mean, you know, go for it. But if you're just wanting one, for me, I did not like this one. This strawberry scent, it's very, very, very artificial, and it's just not my preference. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it that's very off-putting, but that's preference, mind you. Now, I think these two smell better. Now, this is blueberry, but it smells like grape, in my opinion. Like, when I smell it, now, I know that somebody else might smell it, but that doesn't smell like grape. But to me, it kind of has more of a grape scent. So, if I'm going by scent-wise, I would pick one of these, but probably would go more with the orange one, because I love that it smells like an orange popsicle. And knowing that we're going from spring into summer, and you definitely think of popsicles during this time, I think this would be perfect for both seasons. I mean, perfect year-round, it's just a clear gloss, but if you're going by scent, I think this one is the best in my opinion. But just in general, for me, this would be the collection that I would go for. I mean, like, if I could only pick one, this would be the one I'd go for because it's right up my alley. But I think, honestly, all of this stuff is amazing, and I think it's the cutest little collection. I don't know, it's just so cute. And for $1.25 each, come on, that's really amazing. And the quality is amazing on these, considering, I mean, look at that eyeshadow. This is something I could create with high-end, and I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with this one. More so than the other two, but that's, there again, preference. I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you are alerted to all my future uploads, and follow me on Instagram at jessicadeerly. These products, I did look, these products are not available online, so you definitely have to look in Dollar Tree if it's something that you were interested in, so I can't link them for you, but I do have other products listed and linked for you below, and those are affiliate links, so if you click through and purchase, I do earn a small commission, and if you choose to do so, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!